et à tous, bienvenue. Je suis Tiffaine Bergot, responsable de la couverture des entreprises tech chez JP Morgan, et je suis ravie de vous accompagner tout au long de cet après-midi qui s'annonce pleine d'émotions. For non-French speakers, I'll do my opening in French to pay tribute to this amazing and beautiful setting and to give my own stress levels a break. But rest assured that the rest of the competition will be carried out in English. Quel plaisir de voir autant d'énergie réunie à Station F aujourd'hui. Ça va. Avant de commencer, petite question pour vous. Qui ici est un spectateur assidu de Qui veut être mon associé? Les gens en France. Bon, on a quand même quelques experts dans la salle. Alors, j'ai une bonne nouvelle. Cet après-midi, on ne va pas s'asseoir derrière son écran de télévision. Aujourd'hui, l'émission, c'est ici, c'est en direct. Préparez-vous, l'avenir de la tech européenne s'inscrit devant vous. Le programme qui nous attend est intense, soyez prêts. Nous allons avoir le plaisir de découvrir 40 startups, 40 pépites même. Et quand je dis pépites, je le pense vraiment, ils ont été sélectionnés parmi des milliers de candidatures. Ces startups, elles dessinent le futur de notre manière de consommer, de payer, de faire du sport, d'interagir avec un environnement en constante évolution. La règle de The Pitch, elle est simple, bien qu'un peu cruelle. 2 minutes, pas une de plus. En phase 2, un jury de très gros calibre. Ils ont l'habitude d'accompagner les plus grands visionnaires de leur génération. Ils sont là pour challenger, questionner, mais surtout découvrir les prochaines pépites. Avant de lancer le premier pitch, posons-nous quand même une question. Pourquoi sommes-nous là et surtout grâce à qui? Un événement de telle ampleur, vous vous en doutez, ne s'improvise pas. Derrière ce projet, il y a une vision, il y a une conviction profonde et une générosité immense envers l'écosystème. L'écosystème français, mais pas seulement. Parce que The Pitch, dès la semaine prochaine, va partir à Berlin, puis Londres, New York, Singapour. Donc très impressionnant. Leur propre ascension a été fulgurante. Aujourd'hui, ils vont ouvrir la voie à nos entrepreneurs en leur offrant cette scène pour partager leur vision du futur. Pourquoi? Parce que ces fondateurs savent que derrière un succès affiché, il y a des doutes, des nuits blanches et une sacrée dose de travail. Ils ont été à leur place. Donc rien de ce que nous allons vivre n'aurait pu voir le jour sans leur impulsion. Merci de faire un tonnerre d'applaudissements à toute l'équipe de Deel. Merci pour eux. Pour finir, je souhaite passer la parole à notre hôte, à Lara Canafer de Station F, Startup et Business Officer. Lara, à toi.
Hello! What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome to Station F. So I'm Lara. I'm head of startup programs and partnership here at Station F. I'm here to welcome you. For all the founders here, who's the founder here? Hey. Is your stomach a little bit like, I'd be stressed. I've been a founder myself. I did the exact thing that you're about to do today, and I know how stressful it is, but I promise you it's going to be all right. So I'm here to give you some news about Station F, because this year is our 9th anniversary, so it's pretty big. Yes, I know. We've launched a program this year who's called FAI. It's a huge success. We're having a lot of fun here at Station F. And we have some new amazing partners on campus just this month. Databricks and Sanofi, so it's wonderful. We have a new one coming, but it's still secret. I cannot tell you about it. What I can tell you is that more broadly, 2025 has been a record year breaking for startups. Station F startups have raised over 1.5 billion euros in funding, which is huge. And it's euros, it's not even dollars, which is crazy. So just in March alone, our startup have raised 400 million euros. So that's pretty crazy. And it reflects one thing, is that the energy, the ambition, and the resilience of this place is crazy. This is why this event that we're hosting today with Deel is pretty aligned with what we want to do. We want to help startups to build community, having access to the best investors, to the best funders, to the best partners to build amazing companies. So I'm super happy to have you here. To all the founders that are here, I wish you good luck. This is your stage. Make it your own. Have a lot of fun. And please applaud Philippe, who's joining us. Philippe Oasis, welcome. And thank you all. Have fun.
Bonjour tout le monde. Hello everybody. So I'm Philippe from Deel. Such a pleasure to be with you today. You know, as we're starting this pitch global event. I'm very happy to do it in French, and not in French because but j'aurais préféré. So it's very emotional for us, obviously. As Tiffen said before, Deel journey was a fantastic journey. And it started by pitching, Alex and Show, pitching at Y Combinator. And this is how we started 7 years ago. So we believe in pitching. It's a good thing. It gives visibility for you guys, startups. And I wish you all the best. Deel, $1.4 billion ARR today. After these 7 years, around $18 billion valuation. Presence is 120 countries. And then this year, 2025, we decided to give back to the community. And we started that with Deel Venture to encourage founders, to encourage all idea of creation. We invested in more than 20 companies within 7-8 months, around $20 million already deployed. And we found that fantastic, to share and to help and to give back to the community where we grew up, as Deel really started, his business working with other startups like us, and we continue to do so. And then we decided that it was time, to accelerate that. Deel is about volume. We want to build big, like you guys, and this beginning for Deel Venture was great. We said, okay, let's do it even better. And so we decided to change braquet, as we said in France, and to go from these 20 startups within 6 months to probably close to 200 startups per year, where we are going to invest a bit, and a lot with our partners, investors that are also here in the room, and to help the startup, to push and push more and more startups and help them more and more to become global. And that's really what we want to try to help, help companies to be as fast as us, maybe faster than us, why not? And this is all the idea for us, this give back to the ecosystem, and how can we help more, how can we structure more. There are a lot of things that can be structured in the field of startups. Our initiative, Deel for Startup, where you guys, founders, will all have access to a community in the days to come. All the perks will be centralized. You will not need to run here a bit more than 38,000. We expect to have a bit more than 40,000 startups at the end of the event as a first project. And to all startups, all founders, we did that in 2.5 months. Bravo to the team. We'll double that next year, I'm sure, as our CEO will take care of it with the team, So thanks again, for being with us. I hope we will do a much bigger next year together with Station F and our partner JP Morgan, D-Local, Prodware, and all the partners we have, that really contributed and will continue to contribute and help the startup. So welcome, and place for the startups.
One last point. Please download the Canopy app if you haven't already done so. You can view all the founders, our amazing juries, and then you can network after the event. So it's finally time to officially kick off the competition. So let's jump right into the first of our 11 blocks. By next year, traditional search traffic is predicted to drop by 25% as AI agents become the primary way customers discover brands. In this new world, if you aren't optimized for AI, you become invisible. Traffic generation and prospecting are no longer just tasks. They are the lifeblood of survival. But the old tools can't really keep up with the speed of an AI-driven market. That's why we are putting the AI theme straight from the outset to the ultimate test, with 3 powerhouses: FlyRank, LeadBay, and Pearl. These guys are just not raising the bar. They are building the new infrastructure for growth. Let's scale with Alan and Deel. Over to you guys.
Bonjour. In search, the 54% on your content, you don't. Today, brand and AI search, and most do not have the infrastructure to get more expensive with no. That is why we help brands scale content and web and AI. Not a tool you manage, it's a manual execution. Unified agentic system. AI agents from strategy to content, indexation, and now site. And guess what? It works. 5x organic growth, BattleBox, 10x. Real Google Search Console screenshots and
Hi everyone. At LeadBay, we discover and qualify small and medium businesses that couldn't be found before. You might think that companies like ZoomInfo, Clay, or LinkedIn have it covered, but they don't. There is simply not enough online data or signals to qualify small and medium businesses. So your teams still waste their time on manual search and qualifications. Yet, 40% of the US GDP is made of SMBs. I co-founded LeadBay with Milan, who has a PhD in AI. Yes, with Milan, who has a PhD in AI, to make invisible companies visible. SMBs companies can now be qualified with a domain-specific AI model we have developed to qualify leads with human-like intuition. Enterprise like Saint-Gobain or L'Oréal 3x the number of opportunities they are in their market. They constantly qualify the market to only focus on the leads the most likely to buy on their territory. We have grown 20% month over month for the past 6 months. We raised 4 million of capitals with investors like Y Combinator and Deel Ventures, and we are closing enterprise deals both in France and in the US. So companies targeting SMBs companies today you are letting money on the table to not using LeadBay. So I will give you a list of leads for your companies. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Every year, billions are spent on sales tech, and every year, the story repeats itself. 50% of reps, they miss quota. 80% of deals, they're lost. And 2/3 of salespeople's time spent, well, not selling. Now consider this. These people have CRMs. They have note takers, they have prospecting tools, they have forecasting tools, they have tens of tools. And yet, if any of you walks up to any account team out there and asks them at any given point, what's the one thing or the sequence of things that you need to do to progress your accounts as a team right now, you'll find the answer is chaotic. People just don't really know what to do right now as a team. What they're missing is not data or more signals. Those are everywhere. What they're missing is a shared space where they can align as a team, focus, and execute on their accounts. Now that's Pearl. Pearl is not designed for a specific persona. It's not just for reps, it's not just for managers, not just for RevOps. It's designed around accounts. We want people to be obsessed about their customers. So what we built is a platform that focuses on one core concept: shared live action plans. It's an army of agents that continuously updates and builds action plans for teams to align. The core concept relies on a single engine, a recommendation engine that recommends the right action to the right people at the right time. And guess what? We've actually built this kind of engines before Pearl. Our CTO, Sami, and a lot of people on his team, they were working on the core recommendation engine at Criteo. On the sales side, Alexi and I, we were in the trenches, leading sales at Pigment, living the pain every day. And we built a system around it. That system is now Pearl. Thank you.
Wow, that was a strong opening. So now let's move to customer service and AI voice. Because we've all been there, trapped in a loop with a chatbot that doesn't understand, or a shutdown customer services over the weekend. In 2026, a bad experience isn't just a nuance. It's a fast track to losing customer. The era of deflecting tickets is over. We're entering the era of resolving them instantly, 24/7. Every company has customer. It's time to stop hiding behind bad automation. Our next 3 startups are solving this with AI voice and intelligent automation. They are not replacing human white glove treatment. They are making it available 24/7. Now, over to Seren, Calify, Achille.ai. Let's create with them. Angelo, over to you.
Can you hear me? Yeah, perfect. Hello, everyone. Well, everyone wants to sell AI to SMBs, but no one wants to touch their shitty legacy systems. And this is exactly what we've been doing for months at Siren. Brick and mortar businesses, healthcare clinics, hotels, beauty salons, have been struggling for years orchestrating a consistent customer experience because of their dozens of physical and digital touchpoints. They've been struggling for years, and we have the solution for that. At Siren, they're handling thousands of customer interactions daily, but all their data are scattered across dozens of communication channels and different softwares like booking systems, ERPs, CRMs. At Siren, we're building the very first AI conversational infrastructure they lack to manage the overall communication of the company. First of all, we're building AI decision trees that's mapping all the communication flux of the companies. We're cracking these legacy APIs, and we're orchestrating AI and humans in real time across every channels. And we're doing so with 3 different products. Our AI agents, sorry for that click, our AI agents, Ocean, our AI help desk, and Ulysses, our automation tool. All our technical moat depends on 3 different layers. First one is these exact legacy integrations. The second one is network effects. Every deployment makes the next one better and faster. And third, our proprietary fine-tuning pipeline. We turn automatically all the conversations into better models. So first of all, regarding these AI decision trees mapping every communication flux, then this proprietary fine-tuning pipeline I just told you about. Just for that, we're resolving this issue. We've been delivering a solution no one never get interested in, and we just hit 1 million in ARR within 11 months. So my only question for you guys is, will you be following the rainbow with us? Thank you very much.
how do you fix broken customer support and that been broken for the last 30 years? Here's the problem when you have a business with a phone line or an email support address. You have a problem of cost because every touch point with your client costs you $2.5. You have a problem of waiting time because every conversation on phone lasts almost 6 minutes. And you have a problem of availability because you cannot be open every hours of the day and every day of the week. So here's the solution. Meet Kali, the first AI, voice AI platform that handles every channel of communication, every touch point with your client. It helps you optimize your costs. It allows you to be available every time of the day and every day of the week. And it also helps you to be international because it speaks every language. Let me show you now what 15 months of hard working looks like. We are making today 10,000 calls a month, and this number is doubling every month. We are making calls in 7 countries, and we will, at the end of the year, with the contracts that we have already signed, be making calls in 17 countries. Our business model is pretty simple. We are a SaaS plus usage, and we have an average basket of 500 euros. Our competitive edge comes from our proprietary engine, our super light and super fast RAG, and also our feedback loops that is inside our system allows customer service director to do quality. I'm the sales guy. I've already done that in 3 different startups, and my co-founder is a PhD in AI and cyber. He has been 2-time CTO, 2-time head of engineering. If I'm here today, it's to take the 50K and go to the final in New York in May 18th. My vision is pretty simple. We will be the voice AI platform #1 in Europe in 2 years.
Hi everyone. 45 minutes. That's the time I spent last month trying to get a simple refund. A chatbot, a FAQ, a form, another chatbot, and finally, a human who solved it in 90 seconds. 45 minutes of friction, 90 seconds of resolution. That sounds familiar? I think so. Because the entire customer service industry is built around that friction. And we designed Akili to kill it. Akili is the AI-first contact center that makes tickets disappear. We are a full-stack startup. We provide the software and the service in one platform. Akili AI automates and copilots every ticket. Akili Hub deploys augmented human agents for the AI cannot solve yet, and Akili Insights eliminates issues before they even become tickets. We don't just sell you a tool and wish you good luck. We own the entire chain. Every ticket, every resolution, every interaction feeds back into the system. Akili Insights improve the knowledge base. The knowledge base sharpens the AI, and the AI makes human agents faster, and faster agents make better insight. It's a flywheel. The more you use Akili, the less you need support at all. So imagine a world where every customer's interaction transforms into an extraordinary experience. We are not just a tool and wish you good luck. We are the future of the customer service industry with more than 100 clients, backers, and we will prove it at scale.
I don't know about you, but I'm completely bought in. No pressure on next block. And our next block is fintech and payments. So quite a topical topic. Every single day, over $15 trillion move across the globe. Yet behind the scene, it's still a chaotic web of legacy code, manual check, regulations. So the plumbing is really leaking, but the stakes have never been higher. That's why you no longer need a platform, you need a revolution. And for all of them, they have one mission: making money move at the speed of thoughts. Let's welcome WellPay, Reezy, Seed Hub, Dogo, Libertify, and Alpic. Let's move, and let's start with Mathieu.
Hi everyone, nice to see you. So importing is complex and expensive for African SMEs. Banks there are inaccessible, they ask a lot of paperwork, a lot of bureaucracy, and also in Africa, most of the people is unbanked. So African SMEs, to pay the cross-border payment, they need to go through some black market ethics. So it means high cost, long delay payment, and also a lot of scam. Also, African SMEs used to import very small quantity. So the supply chain is also a nightmare. This is why we built Reezy, a one-stop shop, a single platform where importer can check the supplier, manage cross-border payment and logistics. Our business model is very simple. We take 2% commission on every transaction, and we also take 7% commission on freight forwarding cost. So we start recently, late 2023. We have 4,000 active SMEs users. We did more than 35 million of business volume, and last 12 months, we did more than 500K revenue. Our retention is more than 85%. We are growing month after month. We are the only, I'm very proud about that, we are the only fintech in the world who get approval from the Central Bank of Central Africa, authorizing us to do cross-border payment for 6 countries. And this year, we signed a huge deal with African Global Logistics, the leading logistics company in Africa. We handle all the operation part for logistics. So we are raising our seed round now, very excited, 4 million. Money will be used for customer acquisition, expansion in 3 different countries, product development, and license. The goal is, after 18 months, to have 100,000 SMEs users, 600 million of business volume, and a yearly revenue of 50 million. Thanks very much.
Trading has everything to become a sport. But in a world where basketball has the NBA, tennis the ATP, football FIFA, gaming esport leagues, what about trading? Nothing. Retail trading is exploding across every asset class, from spot and ETF to options, prediction markets, perps, crypto, and it now represents 36% of all US order flow, powered by platforms like Robinhood, Revolut, or Binance. Look at it. Trading already has the intensity of sports and everything to become a sport. But it's lacking of a layer. And if you think about it, it's already happening. This was a trading event that happened last year in South Korea, generating 100 million of views. The market already has venues. What it lacks is a competition layer that makes trading social, visible, and viral. City Hub is that layer. We are building the world's largest trading competition platform across all financial markets. We started from crypto, where we've seen the biggest trading adoption these last years. And so far, we've launched over 320 campaigns, generating more than 1 billion of revenue. And basically, we found product market fit a year ago, and we ran then over 150 competitions with more than 200 different clients. The goal is simple: to become the competition layer across all financial markets. We started from 100K revenue in 2024, scaling to 2.5 million of revenue in 2025, and we are now aiming for 15 million this year. Our goal is simple: to become the trading competition layer across all financial markets. Thank you.
Hi everyone. I'm going to talk about capital market in Europe and how liquidity is broken. Just to give you some figures of the capital market in Europe, we were representing about 30% of all IPOs globally 10 years ago. This year, Europe is representing only 8% of global IPOs. But what is the problem? The problem is a highly fragmented market and highly fragmented liquidity. In the US, for instance, there is only one settlement system that is representing all the market and bringing all the liquidity on the unified market infrastructure. In Europe, we have more than 40. But what if the blockchain and public blockchain was the solution? A few years ago, the European Commission put in place something called the DLT pilot regime. It's the regulation layers in order to put one settlement layer on public blockchain for all the liquidity in Europe and globally. Dogo is going for this new regulation, and we will be among the first. We are currently working with the best French and best company and banks in the world. For instance, we are launching a product with Franklin Templeton and Societe Generale as a market maker with a 30 million fund. We have more than 2 billion euro currently on the pipeline, and we will allow Europe to act like settlement system 24/7 open market with instant settlement on stablecoin. We currently are plugging with more than 50 million customers with our direct distribution and our partnerships. Thank you very much.
Hello all. I'm Steve Rosenblum. Okay, did you know that over 85% of companies' knowledge lives in documents? You know what? No one likes to read documents anymore. Attention span has collapsed to 8 seconds, which is less than a small fish, you know. And take, for example, the Deel. How many thousands of clients, millions of employees rely on critical documents? Then this is the last blind spot of the software industry, documents. 1993 was the year of creation of PDFs. What's new? So you know what? When you send a document today, it's like a black box. You don't do anything. You don't know if they read it, if they understood it, if they have any opposition questions. Maybe you rely on your crystal ball, or maybe you can pray to get this information. Some even use quantic, maybe innovations to get this information. So we decided to fix it. And you know what? We saw the light. And this is what Liberify is doing. We are converting those crazy, boring documents where the industry rely on into interactive experiences to increase the surface of interactions. And thanks to it, we do a video explainer of the document, an animated document with highlights, a trained chatbot on the document asking questions, just to know to do what? To get more information. And we assemble this analytics layer on top of the document. And it's not only analytics, it's also qualitative and behavioral analytics. Think of it like having Google Analytics plus a mixed panel onto your documents. And now with one click or one API call, you get measured everything, and people understand, they can retain, they can act. Thank you. And try as soon as possible Liberify. You will see an increase in your proposal readership and understanding of your documents. Thank you.
Hello. Hey, I'm Lucas, the CEO and co-founder of Palantir. And today I want to share how I ended up being here, automating treasury, compliance, settlement, and compliance in one loop. This is my wonderful co-founder, Johnny. We used to grow up together. We are each other's best man. We have the tattoo in the same space. And we absolutely share the love for stablecoin transactions and the hate for manual accounting. Back then, we built a marketplace where people could invest in YouTube videos and YouTube channels. And we made it possible to withdraw the AdSense that is coming from YouTube in real time. What did this mean? People that were on our platform were willing to pay 15% just to get the money faster out of the system. When we saw this, we said, are these people crazy? What is actually going on? And then we looked beyond the YouTube space where we are in, and we discovered that basically every CFO who has to pay more than 500 people a month is losing on the payout side. And this is due to cross-border inefficiencies. This is due to manual workloads. This is also due to the fragmented infrastructures. So we created an API that makes it possible to replace the entire back-out operations. We not only move stablecoin transactions from A to B, we also make sure that they end up in the accountings. We are the merchant of record for each transaction if you want to, and we even make it possible to earn yield on the flow that is in flight. We are Palantir, the default money operation for you, and we're scaling, we're profitable, and to be honest, I need to say that this is a very interesting chance. We also know the MoonPay guys, and I think we have the one widget that is helping you to make more money at scale. Thank you.
Hello everyone, super happy to be here. I'm Pierre-Louis, I'm the CEO and co-founder of Healthtech, and today I will be talking about the future of the internet. I have two daughters that are under 5, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna make fun of me when I will tell them that I was actually going to a website and clicking through stuff and filling up forms because they would just ask agents. And this world already started. There's more than 900 million people every day that are using ChatGPT, but there is no AI native interface for LLMs. We have website for humans, we have mobile apps, we have APIs if we are lucky, but there's nothing that faces directly AI. And this is why MCP got invented about a year ago to be a standard way of communicating between LLM and third-party services. And with that, we can create a real agentic world. It's not only a way to connect, it's also a way to distribute your brand and services within chatbots, within Cloud, within ChatGPT that are now creating ecosystem of apps and connectors directly within the chat. And this is one of our customers at Voyage Privé who created their own app in ChatGPT where you can search for travel directly within the chat experience. That's the reason we built Healthtech. Healthtech is the cloud platform where you can build, deploy, and monitor your AI-facing interface with MCP. We are a team of 5 founders, started a company about a year ago, raised a pre-seed round, and already existed our first company. And now we're expanding quite rapidly in the market from travel, e-commerce, and retail customers. So if you want to build the future of the internet, come talk to us. Thank you.
Impressive block. Now onto another very topical theme, legal, compliance, and trust. We've officially entered the era of the truth gap, where deepfakes are so convincing they are bypassing biometric security and shattering public trust. In a world where seeing is no longer believing, your reputation is your most fragile asset. With the EU AI Act and global regulation now carrying with multi-million dollar penalties, trust isn't just a value, it's a compliance mandate. We are bringing you today the architect of authenticity to hold the line. Please welcome Legify, Wallet, Cleo Labs, Archangel. Let's get it right. Aida, over to you.
My name's Zaida, and I'm the founder and CEO of Legitify. And at Legitify, we are imagining compliant cross-border notarization workflows. Cross-border business moves fast. Notarization does not. Anyone living in France knows this. It creates friction at one of the most important legal steps in global business. Legitify turns cross-border notarization into a seamless digital workflow for global businesses so that the process is much smoother. Users can use the solution online from anywhere, verify their identity, upload their documents, get connected with a notary, and finalize in an end-to-end workflow both notarization and apostille. And we have users across 50 jurisdictions around the world. We already hit 468,000 in euros in ARR based on local traction, but we've also built a 1.2 million euro pipeline. And we're already growing. They're waiting to be onboarded. We also have leading customers already using our solution. Companies like Revolut, Citco, some users from the Deel legal team as well. And we're excited to onboard more in the upcoming months. Why we win? Because we didn't build a local solution and try to stretch it cross-border. We built cross-border from day one. And we think that the future is going to be digital workflows, cross-border workflows globally, not local fragmented solutions. Thank you.
We are losing trust, and AI is accelerating it. The problem today is everything is digital, and there is no universal way to prove what is real. Data can be altered, authenticity is hard to prove, and we rely on platforms we don't control. That does not scale. At Wallet, we fix that. We turn any data into a cryptographic fingerprint anchored on Bitcoin. That's all what we do. No data exposure, no intermediary, no infrastructure. Instantly verifiable. Through a simple API, we integrate into any system. Over 7 million proof across 50+ countries, already in production. We believe that without trust, nothing works from the beginning of humanity. Tomorrow, everything will happen on digital. So we are building the trust layer of the digital world at scale. So don't trust it, prove it. Thank you.
You all know Deel. Deel turned regulatory nightmare, hiring globally, into a single platform. We, at Cleo, are doing the same with product compliance. I'm Naomi, AI engineer, Polytechnic researcher, and let me explain why this matters. So, do you know the problem of selling a product globally? It's a compliance nightmare. Let's take an example. So Decathlon is building a connecting bag helmet in 50 countries. First, R&D. You don't even have a prototype that you need to be compliant with textile, material, chemical regulation. Then, the manufacturer. So the material you use in France is not the same as you use in Japan, and is not even the same as you use in Brazil. Different certification mean also different tests. Then the product is ready. Great. You need to meet every safety regulation. And at the end, you want to ship, but you have all the tax regulation. So yeah, it's tentacular, it's a nightmare, and like payroll for Deel, it's a big problem. We at Cleo are handling this problem. How? We built Maria, a multi-agent proprietary intelligence that scrapped 19,000 regulatory authorities in 106 countries with legal intelligence at the end of the loop to build not just a chatbot guessing like an answer, but really a legal AI expertise intelligence. We're on the market since 3 months, already working with compliance teams such as Decathlon, Kiabi, BIC, or Electrolux, and we aim to be the leading product compliance for physical goods in the Healthtech market. My co-founder, Anaël, ran legal transformation at Avas, so she knows the regulation, and I built the AI that reads them. By 2030, digital product passport should be mandatory in Europe. And it's just one regulation on top of the wave of regulation we have. So the wave is here, and we, Cleo, are here to win the market. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Shrikar. I'm the CEO and founder of Archangel. I just took a 7-hour flight from Boston, landed here this morning, and I'm here to present what Archangel does. We are an AI automated platform that automates IP protection, everything from patents, copyrights, to trademarks, and we try to make it as simple as possible. So let's take this as an analogy. Imagine walking into a McDonald's and paying $500 for a burger that only costs $5. Well, that's what most founders are paying when they use institutional lawyers to file patents, trademarks, and copyrights. And we're trying to fix that problem as soon as possible. We do this with our user interface design. We not just draft patents, we do the entire life cycle of IP protection. Everything from research, drafting, filing, to up to 20 years of management after your patent is approved. So what's our business model? In the past 5 months, we've done $30,000 in revenue within the first 2 weeks. We've averaged around $6,000 to $10,000 in revenue a week, around 100 active customers. And we have a current B2C model where we're directing straight to founders, but we're trying to expand into growing into licensing for law firms, and then eventually build a marketplace where people can buy and sell IP. So where's the future of Archangel? The future of Archangel is superior, and we're dominant. And with your help and a ticket to the finals, we'll become international. So join Archangel in revolutionizing how IP protection is handled. Thank you.
Truly impressive. And a nice segue to our 5th block, HR, talent, learning. In the digital economy, code is cheap, but talent is priceless. We're in the middle of the fiercest talent war in history, where the right person isn't just an asset, they are the competitive advantage to your company. But finding, fitting, and evolving this talent is where most companies fail. To win the future, you need a strategy that covers the full life cycle of human potential. Bringing onto this stage 5 powerhouses, WellPay, Stemdo, Umami, Pack, Evolved, Indeo, actually 6. And I would like to welcome Jonathan on the stage to start with.
Hello, good afternoon. I think we all here can agree on something. Every employee in the world deserves great benefits to be paid. 80% of the global workforce works for SMEs with manual, non-digitalized processes, while enterprise employees, they have everything on autopilot. This is not just a gap. This is a $4 trillion blind spot. WellPay is the operating system to solve this. What we do is we connect HR information systems, local compliance, payroll, employee benefits, insurance into a single API solution, so the managers can get everything on a common center, and the employees can have enterprise-ready benefits on their hand. How we do this possible? Most of you are struggling with these technologies. What we do is that HRS is for them very difficult to go to the last mile. For the insurance, it's very difficult to go digital, and for the meaningful players on the market, it's very difficult to go super deep. What we do with our AI is we connect all in a single layer, so we can reach to every single employee. This is a 400 million SMEs, small businesses that are not connected to the employee benefits worldwide. We have been scaling so fast in this $1 trillion marketplace, doubling our revenues every 6 months. This has been possible with an amazing team of founders and industry experts backed by multiple unicorn investors and advisors. So with your help, help us to bring to every worker on the planet the benefits that they deserve. Thank you very much.
Hello. Hello. Does it make sense to build a tech talent company in the AI era? Hiring is slowing down, AI is automatizing work, tech teams are getting leaner and leaner. But the elephant in the room is the AI is breaking the way that the experience is created. But companies will still need more and more experience. So if companies cannot create experience at a scale, education must create deployable talent from day one. This is what we do at Estendo. We do leverage AI to create ready-to-deploy talent using AI to improve and customize selection, training, mentorship, and so on. We put a lot of effort on hard skills for sure, but we put even more on those skills that are usually learned on the job. Communications, ownership, problem solving. This has brought us, after 3 years, to work with global leaders and achieve 7 million ARR and very close to positive EBITDA. Some players do training, some players do staffing, recruiting. We do everything in one place. And we have the right team because we know the talent from supply to demand. We want to invite you to join us in our 2.5 million round that we just opened to push the boundary of our technology and boost growth. And also, we want to invite you to partnership with us to deploy our next level, next generation talent across the world. Thank you very much.
Look around this room. I bet that all of you knows at least 10 persons who hate their job. But how did you get there? At Umami, we believe that work should be fulfilling, and that starts with the right person at the right company. But candidates use AI to mass apply. Plus 45% since last year, says LinkedIn. So top companies like you receive millions of applications every year. Talent teams are overwhelmed, and this can lead to bad hires that cost you thousands of hundreds of euros. But who's to blame if AI made candidates faster, but companies did not adapt? Umami is the secret ingredient to your modern hiring recipe. I'm the CEO. After 2 successful exits, I know that the founding team is key. Clément, our chief sales officer, is the door opener after 10 years at Google and Salesforce. Connor is the genius mind behind our machine learning, and Jonathan is our brilliant product leader. Together, as a start, we're building self-learning AI agents that work with your team, that work for your team. They outsmart by far any headhunters because they use your hiring manager's profiles to source, score, and engage top candidates. As a result, we deliver top and interested candidates straight into the ATS. Your recruiters, they have 20 hours more per month spent talking to candidates rather than digging CVs. And this is gold. We already have industry leaders as clients, and we learn fast from their hiring decisions. We have a solid growth of 100% month-over-month, and Salesforce is our biggest client with 1 seat. They went from 1 seat to 17 seats and counting. Umami is racing Umami is raising 100 million euro pre-seed in order to become the global competitor of VS Juicebox. We have, by 2028, we will be turning our proprietary talent dataset into the top AI model trained on hiring decisions. Thank you very much.
The workforce is changing faster than companies can manage it. New roles, new tools, new actors entering the organizational chart that didn't even exist 2 years ago. Any large enterprise wants to know what skills they have, what skills they need, and how to close this gap. PAC is the infrastructure layer that answers that question. We map, assess, and develop human skills in large enterprises with a scientific methodology built on AI agents designed to scale. 110 enterprise clients, Luxottica, McDonald's, Leroy Merlin, from 0 to 4 million ARR in 3 years, more than $8 million raised from VCs. David Clark, former CTO of Workday, Alessandro Profumo, founder of UniCredit, Pietro Picogna and Giacomo Gentili leading product. We started with humans because that is where the problem is today. But the real vision is a compounding curve. You develop a human. That human, fully mapped and growing, operates in sync with AI agents. Output multiplies. You integrate robotics into the same layer. It multiplies again. Every human, actor, agent, robot, operating on the same infrastructure, continuously assessed, continuously growing, continuously compounding. There is no ceiling on that curve. We are talking about a $10 trillion opportunity. And we are building the operating system that runs it, whatever the workforce becomes. Thanks.
While last year, companies spent over $36 billion on employee line training, less than 25% of them linked training to performance. HR managers spend up to 50% of their time on manual development tasks. Yet, onboarding is still slower 3 times than expected. I'm Stan, the founder of Evolve, AI-native learning and performance platform, which reinvents the development flow. Unlike competitors, Evolve converts companies' documents into trainings, adaptive and engaging, with AI evaluating open-ended questions to measure real thinking, not completion. Evolve assesses soft and hard skills with 95% accuracy, and we are pioneering this field to personalize development and replace costly offline assessments. Evolve combines learning, practice, evaluation, and feedback into one continuous performance loop. And the results speak for themselves. Performance increased by 30%. Knowledge retention is boosted by 50%. And onboarding and enablement time is cut in half. And we are measuring it by tracking behavioral changes. There are hundreds of solutions on the market, but we do some things they don't. First, we let companies upload their materials to our platform and convert them into courses and simulations and export them with embedded AI features inside, right to any learning management system. It can be Cornerstone, SuccessFactors, or even Deel Engage. Out of the box, no integrations, the same day. Then, when we build trust, we upsell our solution and natively replace current learning management system. And that is why, in less than a year and a half, we are actively growing across Europe, US, and Central Asia, with 20% month-over-month growth. Companies like Schneider Electric, Danone, and Saint-Gobain already solved their challenges with us. Others are joining every single week. And we have the right team to lead this change. With successful exits and leadership roles at top companies, we shift the development from measuring completions to boosting performance. Join us.
One out of 3 employees leave their company within the first year. Not because of the job, but because they never truly connect. Hi everyone, I'm Dan, founder of Fintech, and I would like you to imagine your first day joining a new company. You join a meeting, you see new faces, new names, new job positions, but you don't really know anyone, do you? And in a hybrid world, it even gets worse. That is the reason why people feel disengaged. They do, and they leave, and that costs a lot. So, I want to do it again, but I can't. All right. So we asked a simple question. What if employees could feel connected before even meeting? That's why we built Deel, a video-based onboarding platform where you can meet your colleagues as people, not just roles. You see them. You hear them. You find common grounds, shared interests. And this way, suddenly, the company doesn't feel like a system anymore. It feels more human. This directly improves retention. All right? Okay, no. It's not the right way. It isn't the right slide. Whatever. So this directly improves retention, one of the biggest cost drivers for companies. We already proved that demand with Popeye, helping more than 10,000 people get hired through short videos. Now, we're bringing that same approach inside companies. Deel is that human layer for organization, the system that helps employees connect at scale. Our ambition is simple: to become the standard for how companies onboard and connect their people. Because in a world where remote work is becoming the norm, knowing who you work with is no longer an option. Companies won't win because they hire better. They'll win because they connect their people better. And that's exactly what Deel enables. Thank you.
A direct emission. It's direct, and everyone's really thriving on the stage right now. So I hope the energy is still in the room. I can feel the applaud getting a bit more like slowly. And I hope that you're going to cheer our next block. We're moving to Cleantech and Sustainability Challenge. We are past the point of going green as a choice. Sustainability is now a race for industrial survival. With global carbon mandate tightening, energy costs spiraling, the companies that don't adapt will simply be left in the dust. The mission is clear. We need to decarbonize, decentralize, revitalize. It's time to stop talking about the green transition and start building the green reality. For that calling, 4 pioneers of the new climate economy: Climerock, Bioessol, Toasty, and Joel. Let's solve with them, and welcome to Arthur.
Hi, everybody. I'm Arthur Chabot, the co-founder of Climerock, a company where we turn farmlands into permanent carbon sinks. Carbon removal is growing fast, but we are still far from the scale we need. CO2, if we don't remove it from the atmosphere, net zero just doesn't make sense. So how do we scale it in the real world? We use rocks. Rocks react naturally with water and CO2 to lock it away. We use existing rocks from byproducts in the construction industry. We spread them onto farmlands, and natural processes do the rest and store the carbon permanently. This is enhanced rock weathering. And everyone wins. Farmers improve yields and soil health. Industry removes CO2, and it scales globally. This is already happening. We don't model carbon removal. We measure it directly in the field, in collaboration with top research institutes. And it works. 80K in revenue in 12 months, 418K raised, and 6 ongoing field trials, including one with Colas, a global leader in infrastructure. So the solution is under our feet. Carbon removal won't scale on the paper. It has to scale in the field, and we are going to make it happen. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Energy is no longer a cost. It is a constraint on growth. Across Europe, that constraint gets tighter, fast. At BSL, we are not just building technology, we are deploying infrastructure. We build, own, operate distributed energy system. We sell energy as a service under long-term contracts. We proved this model in Latin America, one of the most volatile energy markets in the world. Today, 15 million in revenue, profitable, 80 million in contractor revenues, 0 default. So this is not hypothesis, this is already working. What matters now is speed. Infrastructure is ready, contracts are in place, financing is structured. So we need to scale it. We are now deploying this model in Europe from France, targeting 200 million in infrastructure over the next 3 years. We are not trying to make this work because the energy resilience is needed today more than ever. And here is the key point. This platform does not require equity to operate. This already works with debt. Equity simple accelerates the deployment, and then, well, we decide who is going to capture the upside. We are raising a 30 million round with selected partners, and now BSL is building the infrastructure layer for the industrial energy resilience in Europe. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Arnaud, CEO and co-founder of Toasty. So we are in 2026 in Europe, and in one side you have 80% of European consumers that want to shop more sustainably, and on the other side you have 2 fast fashion Chinese apps, Shein and Temu, that are the most downloaded app. The problem is not intention, it's experience. Shopping more sustainably is too expensive, too complicated, and honestly not fun at all. At Toasty, we are building a unique product to shift this paradox. we've launched the first European mobile app that combines shopping and gamification to make better consumption as easy as fast fashion. Basically, we provide daily discounted deals on top sustainable brands, more than 1,600 brands right now on the platform, and we amplify that through gamification, daily challenges, quizzes, to make it more fun. Think about a Duolingo, but for improving your shopping. And it works. In less than 3 years, we've reached 600,000 euros of monthly sales, 100,000 monthly active users, and a retention rate which is closer to gaming app rather than shopping app. We are not another marketplace. We are building a new discovery shopping engine. Every interaction, every quiz, every challenges generate additional data that we collect to leverage our AI to make shopping more relevant. There are 3 things I want you to remember from this speech. The first one is that we are a tech and product company driven by the mission to transform the way we shop. The second one is that we've generated really good early traction and best-in-class unit economics. And the third one is that we are turning one of our biggest generation problem into a mass market opportunity. Thanks a lot.
Hi, my name is Vincent. I am the co-founder of Joule. And at Joule, we believe the greatest transportation revolution is happening right now. And most people are missing the most important part of it. This revolution is autonomous mobility. 15 billion kilometers. That's the distance driven as we speak by autonomous vehicles. Vehicles that drive without the need for human intervention and are connected to a single brain that never falls asleep, never gets distracted, never drinks alcohol, and strictly follows traffic rules. The result is 1 million people that could be saved every year. Autonomous mobility is no longer science fiction, but what science fiction is to think that these vehicles will operate entirely on their own. The autonomous world is not a world without humans. These cars will indeed drive themselves, but we'll still need to clean them, charge them, repair them, help users. So while tech giants such as Tesla, Beidou, Waymo are building the brain of autonomous mobility, at Joule we are building the muscle, the first technology operator for autonomous mobility. Because our conviction is simple at Joule. We think that AI will become a commodity, but operational excellence, customer relationships will not. The autonomous vehicles market represents several 100 billion euros. Up to 30% of this value can be captured by Joule. And to achieve this, we can rely on our experience, more than 20 years combined between my co-founder Thomas and me. We know this industry, we know how to build the technology, a technology that will change the way humanity moves forever. Thank you.
A powerful block, but I have to say I'm very excited about the next one, health and fitness tech. For decades, healthcare has been a reactive game, waiting for the break, the burn, the breakdown before we act. But in 2026, the smartest move isn't treating the problem. It's making sure it never happens in the first place. We're moving from guessing to knowing. By using data as a shield rather than just a scoreboard, we can finally manage sickness and start mastering prevention. Let's welcome Vecta, Hippodoc, and Cardiamo, who are turning data into life-saving defense. Over to you with Samuel.
Yes, this is another AI training app pitch, but ours has a head start because half of the Tour de France already trains on our platform. Endurance sports is massive, a $7 billion market, 600 million athletes, but it's broken. No platform truly combines elite training intelligence, meaningful insights, and a community in one place. Vecta is the all-in-one endurance platform performance platform for endurance athletes with AI-powered training built on proprietary models that adapt to your body, schedule, and goals, unified data for training, recovery, sleep, nutrition, and a community that keeps you accountable and motivated to continue to dream bigger. What makes us different is not only how we started, but with whom, with the teams that actually race the Tour de France, with teams like Lidl, Decathlon, Jayco, and Chris Froome is a 4-time Tour de France winner and one of our ambassadors and investors. That elite validation is our growth engine now. The coaches bring their athletes, the athletes share their progress, and the platform scales organically. The results? 5,000 athletes, 300 coaches, 40K of monthly revenue with 0 paid acquisition yet. And we've grown our revenue 10x in under a year. Now we're taking what proved successful in cycling into running, triathlon, and all endurance athlete in the world, and doing to endurance training what Whoop did to recovery, making elite performance accessible to everyone. And since all endurance athletes dream of being better and push their limits every day, we are building a platform that helps them dream bigger. Thank you.
Okay. I love being a doctor, and for years I believed that finance had nothing to do with care. Then I started practicing, and I realized medicine also comes with lots of admin, paperwork, and money stress. But when that stress enters the room with the patient, it stops being a money problem, it becomes a care problem. And that's where the stress begins. Doctors know what they bill, not what they keep, because pension, social contribution, and tax income all hit at different moments with unpredictable amounts and all based on past income. It's like running your business with no analytics. Stressful, right? So I built Epodoc, one number, updated live. Doctors know what they bill, know what they owe, and know what they keep. Then I wrap it into their daily workflow. Calendar, analytics, contracts, and billing. But this is just only the beginning, because I'm shaping the next generation of doctors who understand money. 11 months ago, I started sharing content about finance for doctors on Instagram. Now, we are a community of more than 10,000 doctors. And 5 months ago, I launched Epodoc. Since then, 10x growth, more than 115 paying doctors, and more than 3,000 monthly recurrent revenue. Bootstrap and profitable. Turns out, when the fog lifts, people move fast. And most people think better healthcare will start with the patient. I don't. It starts earlier, in the doctor's headspace. Because if you remove the financial stress, if you remove the noise, everything's improved. Better focus, better decision, and better care. Because when doctors carry less, patients get more. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Ksenia. I'm founder and CEO of Cardioma. We came up with the idea of Cardioma from personal experience. 2 very close family members, my family, they had heart conditions, and that's why we created a solution that can help people like them live with more security and peace of mind. And it's not only my personal story. Heart disease is still the main cause of death globally, but many of these deaths can be prevented with early detection. But the problem that system doesn't allow early detection, and patients, they often wait months for appointments, and Monitoring is short-term and episodic, and conditions like arrhythmia can be go unnoticed for months or even years. That's why we created Cardioma. It's a real-time continuous cardiac monitoring solution. It combines our own device, software, and AI to provide real-time analysis of data. The device itself, it's small, comfortable to wear, waterproof, rechargeable. I'm wearing right now. And it tracks in real time ECG and vital signs. And we analyze the data in real time and provide analysis both to clinician and patients. We already have clinical traction. We collected over 1 million data set from real patients and detected more than 50,000 arrhythmias and more than 1,000 patients monitored. We are working with hospitals and universities to validate our technology in real world setting. Our team combines expertise in medical devices, AI, and business. Our business model is B2B, working with hospitals and insurance with recurring revenue model. And we are looking for strategic partnership and investors to bring Cardioma to millions of patients globally. Thank you so much.
Truly inspiring. Let's carry that energy forward with retail, commerce, and supply chain. The buy button is easy, but the journey behind it has never been so complex. In an era of fragmented global trade and rather thin margin, your supply chain is either your greatest weapon or your biggest liability. Consumer wants it now. Regulator wants it transparent, and the bottom line wants it optimized. To survive, retail needs to stop playing catch-up and start predicting the flow. We are bringing in the architect of the modern flow to show how it's done. Let's welcome RDA, Lemrock, OnSource. Andre, over to you.
We are here, Station F, Paris, and roughly around us there are 30-40 different restaurants and retail stores available through apps like Uber Eats or Deliveroo. And this part of e-commerce is called rapid delivery. It is a very convenient way how to order goods within 30-45 minutes, and although for us as shoppers it is a convenient way, it is a huge mess for brands. Because if we imagine that we are any kind of brand like Heineken, as an example, we can see that roughly around half of the stores around us have performance issues. The price might be incorrect. We can be out of stock or have a different visibility. And this is a huge problem, especially when we take a look how many of these outlets, both restaurants and stores, available across aggregators just in the Paris region. That's why brands really need a granular data to understand what exactly is happening across each and every store on a daily basis and to prevent all of the gaps and to basically win the share. That's what Rapid Delivery Analytics, or RDA, does. We provide brands with a very granular data on a daily basis to cover these gaps, to understand what exactly is happening, where performance issues are, and how to fix them. And we are covering more than 50 apps worldwide. More than 100 countries are actually in the coverage, and this is only just the beginning. So if you want to know more about what we are building and how we are helping brands with this journey in rapid delivery, feel free to keep in touch. Thank you.
E-commerce is going through one of the biggest transformations in its history. What if tomorrow you do not shop anymore on traditional websites, but on conversational AI agents such as ChatGPT? This is called This is what we've called agentic commerce. It's one of the biggest shifts in this sector and a $30 trillion opportunity. For brands, this is critical. If brands do not appear and sell inside this new ecosystem, they will simply become invisible. But here's the problem. To do so and address this new channel, they need a complete new technical infrastructure. They have no resources, no capabilities to build by themselves. This is why my co-founder and I built Lemrock. Lemrock is the missing infrastructure layer that enables any brands to appear and sell inside LLMs. Our solution is an end-to-end platform from product catalog ingestion to connection and orchestration across the different LLMs. We grew extremely fast. In only 6 months, we've onboarded more than 150 brands. We are connected across all the major LLMs on the market. And we are today powering more than 100 million conversations every month. We are currently closing our $7 million seed round to accelerate across Europe and the US. But what really sets us apart is data. Today, our AI models are trained and live on more than 3 million conversations every day. That means that we are consolidating one of the biggest conversational commerce data sets ever built, and it's growing every single day. Quick word on the team. We are 3 co-founders. Myself, Roxane, I'm the CEO. I've more than 10 years experience in the space, and I knew very well the industry. Sacha and Clément are my 2 technical co-founders. They built many companies before, and they did YC. Our ambition is clear: establish Lemrock as the default infrastructure layer for agentic commerce globally. Thank you.
IT contract renewal decisions disappeared from enterprises. 80% of contracts are auto-renewed, and OnSource brings the decision back. Why now? Because there have never been as many credible alternatives for every renewals. Switching costs have dropped, and the cost of monitoring your contract continuously are also closing near to zero. OnSource computes customers and market data to continuously generate the best decisions for tech buyers, whether it's retain, challenge, replace, or stop your contract. We rank continuously providers against performance, viability, and switching cost. Every decision makes the next one better. Having the data to walk away in every negotiation is a massive leverage. Our customers, in average, generate 15% of savings in cost, but even better, they have more leverage than ever against their providers. We reached 190K euros within a year, working with some of the best names in the industry. We are fully bootstrapped. These are not pilots. These are customers using OnSource every day to make the best decisions in production. The opportunity is massive, so 1.6 billion euro opportunities for Europe only. We have a go-to-market that is straight to IT procurement team, and we are developing partnerships with resellers as well as IT consultancies. We are fully bootstrapped, and we are now raising funds, so 700K euros for a first seed round to reach 1 million euro ARR and become the first IT decision infrastructure. Join us. Thank you.
Now, changing the scene a little bit again, with PropTech and construction. We are facing a global housing and workplace crisis, yet the way we build and manage property sometimes still feels like the last century. In 2026, the most valuable square footage is the kind that is smart, sustainable, and data-driven. The era of dumb building is over. To meet the demand of a modern workforce and a changing climate, we have to rethink the entire life cycle, from the first brick to the final lease. And this is what Nubo and Build have been relentlessly solving for. Let's welcome Laura this afternoon. Laura.
Imagine New York City as a ghost town. Do you know that in Europe, there's a whole New York City of empty offices, 800 million square meters vacant. It's the 30% of all office real estate. And yet, companies struggle to find office, because you can get a hotel in seconds, but office up to 6 months, among fragmented operators, manual and opaque processes. The lease process is broken. In Nubo, we closed 500,000 deals in just 2 weeks. How? We connect demand and supply at scale through an AI-integrated platform with 3 key promises: faster, tailored, and all-in-one, from search to final negotiation. Some are just marketplaces, others are just brokers. We are both in one single infrastructure and plus data. So what used to take months now takes days. We are rebuilding the operating layer of a broken trillion-euro market in Europe. Well, it's a wonderful evergreen, very outdated though. In 10 months, we operated more than 2 million euros of contract with over 2,000 spaces, thanks to strategic partnership with international industry leaders. And today, we get transaction fees to consolidate the network, tomorrow, SaaS to scale it. I'm Laura, and I'm the CEO and founder, and we come from startup and scale-up execution, real estate, and tech backgrounds. You know, people say real estate is not sexy. I agree, it's even worse. A trillion industry still running offline. For sure, you all have in mind that broker guy type, tied in that super horrible jacket. Try to look important. Well, the jacket is not the point here, but it's what a massive opportunity looks in a very bad suit. And that's inefficiency at scale. And you know what? That's super sexy to us. Merci.
Good afternoon. My name is Marco. I'm founder and CEO of Build, construction native ERP for mid-market in construction. More than 500,000 companies in Europe still runs on manual tools. A lot of Excels, PDFs, emails, WhatsApp messengers, and some prayer. More than 5 times they enter the same data in the different documents. Engineers spend tens of hours just on entering data and no visibility into real P&Ls. And again, some prayer. Today, AI enables this market. We can win it, finally. AI native go-to-market to make sales and marketing in a fraction of a cost of enterprise sales. AI-powered inputs, removing the main barrier of the ERPs. And AI-powered implementation in hours, not months. In a build, you can enter any kind of a document in any language. Our AI reads it. Our construction native data model connects all of the dots, all of the interconnections, and your budget control, your status reporting, and paperwork is fully automated. We have 22 paying customers, 604,000 ARR, growing 15% month by month, and we're still not scaling. And our team has built it before, construction company, digital native company, with a turnover of 250 million euros. So we are the perfect team to conquer this huge market. Thank you so much.
Real estate could be sexy. At least it was an opportunity to learn about it this afternoon. Now let's go even deeper with AI infrastructure and deep tech. Today, AI is on every mouth. It's been on our mouth all the afternoon. And the world tech giants have been powering billions into the functional hardware. But as the Mach 7 build the pipe, the real battle is moving to the precision and integrity of the infrastructure itself. Scale alone is no longer enough. To move from hype to industrial-grade reality, we need the deep tech layers to ensure that intelligence is predictive, secure, above all, accountable. Please welcome the architects refining this frontier, Presage Labs, Aliud, Routine, and Y Neuro. Let's go, and let's welcome Benjamin.
Bonjour à tous, je suis Benjamin. I'm Ben, I'm the co-founder of Presage. And at Presage Labs, we are building world's model for cloud infrastructure. So let me tell you why this matters. Cloud infrastructure is becoming more and more autonomous. AI agents today are making thousands of decisions per second, triggering workflows, scaling resources, and changing environments. The problem is there is no tool that can simulate what happened next. For example, Datadog, Dynatrace will tell you what break, but nobody tells you what will break. So teams are flying blind, and that blindness costs billions. So less than 2 minutes for world model and cloud. So let's imagine your house is on fire. Datadog, again, sorry, calls you to tell you that your house is burning and charges you for every gallon of water to put it out. At Presage, we don't do that. At Presage, we tell you before the fire starts that something is about to go wrong. So we simulate it, fix it in milliseconds. That's what a world model does. You stop predicting, you stop reacting, and you start predicting. One small example, it's Amazon's own AI agents. In December 2025, deleted a production environment, 13-hour outage. It bypassed all human approval. So it's happening right now. It's not hypothetical. And for us too, we already have some partnerships on the way, signed over 200K in the last few months, and building something that no one else has. It's going to be the first proprietary data set to train world model in production infrastructure. So monitoring and observing is no longer enough. We need world model in cloud, and at Presage, we are building it. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Thomas. I'm the CEO and founder of Y Neuro. It would never have been possible without my amazing team. 12 amazing PhDs, researchers from all over the world, from Brazil, from Iran, from UK, from Sweden, specialized in neurotech, AI, and cybersecurity at the same time. The thinking that when we're looking at the market, all the tech giants in the US, in Japan, in South Korea are going to implement neural sensors in future devices, such as smart glasses and earbuds. But all the legacy biometrics, such as facial recognition, fingerprints, iris or retina scan, can be easily spoofed. So we have created the world's first neural authentication technology. It's called NeuroID. Let me show you in action. So the same technology, the demo you can see, have been made with this headset, but the same technology could be applied to the smart glasses. You can have access in a most secure way to your personal space, do a deal contract, or send a Lydia to everyone. And right now, our objective is to deploy the NeuroID on the market and to make it as a new standard. It's not just a startup. We want 4 billion people worldwide using our technology. 100,000 people have tried our solution over 30 different products. We have 5 core patents to protect the innovation. 10 pilots are on the way with the tech giants, and we are currently fundraising $15 million for the seed round. We would love to have you on board. Let's make waves together. Thank you so much, and talk to you soon.
2 years ago, I managed to set a factory on fire. I was a manufacturing engineer, and a very critical piece of information I needed had never been documented. After the incident, documenting it took us 5 days, and that's the real issue. Incomplete or missing documentation cost factories $650 billion a year in human errors and wasted workers' time. With Elude, we solve this. Our customers go on the shop floor and film their experts working. And in under 2 minutes, our agents transforms the video into a full procedure effortlessly. We use this data to build a live operational picture of the factory, simulate decisions, and optimize every action, unlocking millions in savings. In just 3 months, we signed a $100K in live contract with 2 enterprise customers, a $1 billion semiconductor factory and a Mars subsidiary, and are planning to grow to 2.5 million AR in the next 12 months. My co-founder and I are both manufacturing experts. Ab is a second-time founder in manufacturing, and I'm Eva, a mechanical engineer trained at EPFL and Harvard that lived and breathed this pain for 3 years in a medtech factory. Robots in factories are undeniably the future. But like autonomous cars need Google Maps, they will need a system that helps them understand the world they operate in. And that's what we're building. Thank you so much.
Hello. AI can answer your questions, and you do that every day, but it cannot automate work by itself. And the reason is simple. It lacks context, because your work is fragmented across many, many tools. Now, yes, it can access tools through APIs and MCPs, but it lacks the understanding of the relationship between the different pieces. In short, it lacks the global picture. Now, routine turns those disconnected apps into a context graph, connecting your task, meetings, notes, customers, projects into the global picture that AI needs to automate work across tools. Let me give you a simple example of what it can do in 10 minutes by connecting those apps to routine right now. Let's say you're joining a product meeting and two of your customers are reporting a bug. Obviously, AI is listening to the meeting and the team decides to fix the problem right away. At the end of the meeting, it generates the summary, nothing new here, but it is going to detect that a decision has been made. And so it updates the whole company on Slack so that everybody knows which decision has been made. Then by itself, again, it's going to update the roadmap, bumping up the criticality of the bug, but most importantly, linking the impacted customer from your CRM. In short, enriching the graph by itself. And then after that, an issue is created in GitHub, Cursor takes over, fixes the bugs, and when the bug is fixed, obviously the AI wakes up and closes the loop with your customers to let them know that the bug has been fixed in production. Now, all of this is only possible because of the context graph. And the beauty is that every day, humans and AI alike are enriching it by adding information and creating more links. Give it a try. Thank you.
So today we've covered a lot: the code, the coin, the carbon, and it's unfortunately our last block now. But what a last block. We are ending with the soul. The ultimate test of technology isn't just efficiency. It's how it amplifies our imagination and changes how we feel. We are entering an era where entertainment isn't just something we consume. It's something we co-create. A fitting end to a remarkable day as we look at the tech that makes the impossible possible. To give a perfect wrap, Please welcome my Gemini and ever rich. Alexis, over to you.
Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to introduce my Gemini to you. I'm a big passionate about creation. I started as a filmmaker, as a writer and a director. I saw how difficult it was to promote your work. Then I created a digital agency working with brands, and I saw that every day it was difficult to find the right talent, to manage the content production. It's a difficult sector. So we came out of My Gemini. My Gemini is the companion of talents and the companion of decision makers. We handle a huge market, the branded content market, $600 billion. Now it's a reality. We have the product. We do the creative marketplace. We're coming from the brief. We're matching the right talents with the labelized talents. We have a toolbox to simplify all the chain of production. And we do the community. We want to build the community, the united artist of talents at the era of AI. We have big clients, Husqvarna, Orange, Chanel, Airbnb. I feel that all these accounts, they want a new way, a new solution. And we have already raised 1 million with the head of Facebook France. And now we want really to invent this future of storytelling, this future of content creation. As you can understand, this is not only business. There is a passion in this project. The AI is coming, but I feel that the talent, the creative is more important than anybody, than any moment. We are working on that with my team, Louis, that I thank, our product owner, Jean-Baptiste, our AI expert, but also all the customer success team that enables to fidelize all our clients. So this is the dream I wanted to share with you. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, my name is Nicolas and I'm the founder of Everich Labs. We are building a platform that turns passive audiences into live participants. And we do that because streaming is currently driving everything, culture, monetization, attention, and the viewers are still outside of the experience. So we did that by starting with The Proof, our first game, built with our own API, Twitch. We are building this game in partnership with Twitch. And we are now ready to scale, to deploy this tech on other streaming platforms and selling it to other studios and entertainment leaders like Banijay received an interest recently. It's not just about gaming, but we started with that. A lot of traction already. These behaviors exist. People don't want to be passive in experience anymore. They want to participate. They want to impact what they watch. 600,000 wishlists worldwide on the game, top 10 worldwide on Epic Games Store, famous Twitchers backed in the cap table. The reason why these behaviors exist is because also the industry is inefficient. Right now, monetization on streaming platform is poor. Participants are passive. We solve that issue. Moreover, we allow also studios to monetize their audience directly. People watch more gaming content than they play today. That's what we want to build, an interactive platform leading the entertainment in general, led by a worldwide team coming from Ubisoft, Nintendo, and other AAA studios in the world. Thank you, guys. Thanks, everyone.
And that concludes our final pitch of the day. Massive round of applause, please, for all the founders. Thank you. It really takes amazing grit to stand up in front of you and try to sell your business in 2 minutes. Now the spotlight shifts. Our esteemed jury now has the hard task of narrowing it down and to make final decision as to who the winner will be. Judges, the deliberation room is ready for you. While our judges are going to crunch numbers, debate the details, I will have the pleasure to welcome Alex Boisiz, CEO of Deel, on this stage for a fireside chat. Please welcome Alex, guys.
Wow, how is everyone doing? You guys still alive?
Okay.
But that was really cool, though. That's I remember pitching myself. It's one of the most horrible moments you live through, and then one of the happiest moments when you're done. So I know what those guys went through.
So that's a good thing, and actually it's a good icebreaker to the conversation. Maybe it would be interesting for the broader audience that maybe are not that familiar with Deel to hear about what Deel is about. And as we said, you've got 2 minutes.
Sure. Please no gong. That's very
the
stressful.
gong.
Yeah, well, actually, last time I was sitting here was with Harry from 20VC, and it wasn't recorded live, so I could say a lot of stupid things, but I think this time I need to behave. Well, first of all, I'm super thankful for all of you guys being here. It's been such a fun project to put together. And very quickly on Deel, so we started the company about 7 years ago, and now we do global payroll and HR for companies. We've raised, I think our valuation was $17 billion as valuation, raised over $1 billion, 40,000 customers. Still a lot to do, a lot to learn, but we've built a bit 0.1% of where we want to be as a company.
Yeah, and a truly impressive journey that is only starting as well for Deel. So obviously you guys have scaled incredibly fast. What are the 2-3 key decisions early on that made the biggest difference, in your opinion, in terms of Deel's success?
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank everyone for being here today and for all of the founders that pitched. I think those times are kind of the fun times, actually. I kind of miss those times, to be honest with you. But reliving it right now, actually, for all of the AI revolution that's happening at the moment, which is really fun. But those are the times that are very vague. You kind of need to navigate through so much. I'd say like lack of knowledge of what you want to do, how you want to build, a lot of resilience, and I think if I understood your question correctly, like the way I kind of think the early stage is the most important part is to how much you're willing to try for things, right? Like how much you're willing to give things a go and willing to iterate really fast. I think one of the things that, at least in my personal experience, a lot of early stage founders do wrong is they usually try to convince themselves that they are on the right path, which is something they need to do, but having the ability to know when it's the right time to try something else and switch really fast is something that's super critical early stage. And I think that's one of the things that when I look back from my experience, like I spent years building consumer solutions because I thought that's what I wanted to build in my life, and I'm very bad at consumer. It turns out B2B is a little easier for me, but spending time thinking about what you want to build, being very, very strong in terms of what you believe in, but at the same time weakly holding your opinion so you can pivot really fast, I think is very crucial. And it's listening to all those pitches, I think some of them are amazing, but I can see that this is the journey that they're going to go through for sure.
And pivot is what we've seen most of the most successful company actually do. And it's usually a true testimony to the management team as well, to have that ability as you scale to be able to pivot at the right time.
Yeah, actually I remember when we went through Y Combinator, we actually came into demo day and we had pivoted 3 days before. And I remember my YC partner saying, oh, they just pivoted on Friday, which was like a, kind of funny, but at the same time kind of scary for us. And even if you look at what we do today, and I actually think, and I think we'll talk about this later, with some of the things that are happening with the new technologies available, like AI, I just think like we're constantly pivoting. Like I'm pivoting the way I operate, I'm pivoting my organization. It's a different form of pivoting than a smaller startup, but I think it's a critical skill set for most executives and most managers in general.
Yeah. No, that's a really good piece of advice that everyone should be writing down. And actually, you hinted on it, but obviously, you guys have funded Deel in 2019. If you had to build Deel now with the new tools in this new environment, what would Deel look like?
I think it's a very fair question. I think we're still nimble enough, right? Like we're 7 years old, and I'm still, for better or for worse, still very much in the details of how we build. That we still have a shot at looking like what Deel would have been if we started today, but it's quite a long road ahead, and it's going to be really fun. What I can say is, most of the tools that are available out there have really changed the way I think about building in general. And I think you can get so much more done with generally less people, which I think is a big superpower. So I'd say Deel wouldn't have been built differently per se, apart from some very like infrastructural things of how we built the company. But I think we could have gotten to where we are today even faster than we did.
Okay, interesting. And if we move slightly towards execution, many founders, especially at the early days, I would say, would usually struggle between speed and structure. Obviously, that's something you guys have done very well. How did you maintain the exceptional velocity of the business while scaling a global business?
Yeah, first of all, that's a great question. You know, going global is very complicated, but it depends how you approach different things, right? And I think different companies go through different journeys about becoming a global business. We kind of made a very early decision that because of the nature of our company, if we wanted to be a successful company, we had to go global from the get-go. So, you know, today we're 7,000 people, no offices anywhere, everybody works from wherever they want. Which surprises a lot of people, actually.
I actually look up where do you live, and Gemini at least thinks you are in San Francisco.
No, I'm in Tel Aviv, so almost.
Almost there.
But the thing is, the way I kind of think about it is generally, when it comes to compliance business, fintech business, you know, we move over $2 billion a month for companies, for people. Like, we have a big responsibility, so making sure that we do things right is very critical. But at the same time, you also have a duty to your customers to improve and to be able to, you know, make sure that your platform compounds into the best potential product for them, which is really important. So the way I kind of think about speed, I think, is different than a lot of people think about as well. Like, a lot of people come to me and think speed is just like, well, I do create chaos sometimes, but creating chaos and just trying to get things done. But I think there's a lot of structure into how do you think about going fast, right? And going fast for me doesn't mean just try to make things happen all the time. It means more, what can I do today instead of pushing it tomorrow? Yeah. And that kind of compounds within an organization, right? Like, I see it sometimes even within my own organization, and I hope it really doesn't happen for smaller companies that are here, but you know, let's take this off on Monday when you could have just hop on a call today, right? Or let's, you know, you are in San Francisco, I'm in Paris, I write something, you see it at night, I'm not here anymore because it's late for me, you write to me, I look at it in the morning. It's very easy to just let things slide and for slowness to just like starts becoming a core part of your organization, and it's something that I fight with all my being, and that's what's important. And if this is the key that you're looking for, then it's never going to go against, you know, making sure that you do things right.
No, very interesting. And I guess we spoke about the talent war and bringing the right talent into companies, how this is your biggest asset. How do you still handpick some of the key people at Deel? And more broadly, how do you manage the HR function?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the HR function at Deel is an important one, right? We're an HR company, so we spend a lot of time thinking about it. Well, first of all, there's different playing fields, right? Like, thankfully, thank God, we're not playing into the pure AI space. So when I look at some of the compensation packages that are being built, you know, by some of the companies out there, the Anthropics and OpenAIs of the world, I'm so thankful that I'm not building LLMs or any of that part. So I don't have to worry about that side. And I would say one of the very unique thing about being fully remote, having 7,000 people across 120 countries, is that we actually get to hire the best of the best around the world. People that sometimes don't have the opportunity to work for amazing companies and that have such amazing talent and are waiting for the right opportunities. And that gives us a significant competitive advantage. And it's kind of an, you know, ambiguous thing for me to talk about, because on one side, I want every company to hire all around the world because it's great for our business. But on the other side, like, I'm very happy that we're one of the few companies that actually truly leverages this and have the ability to build that. And, you know, whether it's my director of engineering in Colombia that I've been like coding things and pushing on the AI front every night for the last 2 weeks, my product director in the Netherlands, or my product operational, my operations leader in Egypt, like, it's kind of seeing all those people together working through is a very unique way of like executing work, and something I'm very proud of. And I think from a talent perspective, it's been really helpful. Okay. To your question, when it comes to handpicking roles, definitely. obviously I don't have as much time as I want to. I used to actually interview, and I think every founder should do this actually. I interviewed everyone at Deel until we were 700 people almost, which my talent team hated me for because I was a bottleneck. But it didn't really matter because the culture mattered more for me, right? Like culture really trickles down from top down when it comes to leadership. So it was very important for me to do this. And actually, I wish I could have interviewed everyone until even 7,000 plus, right? So yeah, I wish I didn't listen to them even at 700 people and kept doing it. But I do think that when it comes to critical roles, if you're not involved, then it's the recipe for disaster, right? And you know, actually, we have one very cool role that's gone viral recently. I don't know if you guys have read about it. We call it the Ghostbusters. Actually, one of them is here today. He's decided to be IT today. So you know, it's kind of this very fun role where we hire very smart, you know, 25, 35 years old, depending, with a little bit of experience, but not enough experience that they are, you know, too corporate, too boxed in, and kind of give them the go and break things and go and check what's going on and just help us not become a slow organization, tell us what's not working and let's go and fix it. And like, those are the type of roles that I love to hire for and I work super closely with.
And how many of those Ghostbusters you currently
Well,
have?
you can
Only
grab
one.
Antoine. He's somewhere here. He can tell you about his experience when I'm not listening, because he might tell you the truth. But we have, I think, 5, 6 of them. We're looking to hire 2 more. But it's such a fun role for me to work with, because it's like, you know, one of the things I think we've been always successful on, at least it's helped us a lot at Deel, is like when you look at something and you're like, this doesn't make any sense, right? Like, why is this happening? And I think as you build up the organization, a lot of things that are just legacy just start, like, even if we're only 7 years old, just start looking like normal, right? It's always, it's how it's always been, right? And when you're looking at things from an eye of like, no, like, why is that here? Then you can really change things and have like a very different mindset than most people, which is something that's very exciting for us. And, you know, one of the things we've done recently is we've built like some really cool internal AI tools, and actually we're going to write about it really soon. And you know, it's really changing how things work, right? Like, for example, we had things that we've been trying to get to 100% automation for years. And we suddenly can like look at this and go like, well, why is it been built that way? That doesn't make any sense. And in 2 weeks, with some of the new technology, go to 100+% automation, which is crazy.
Yeah,
so
and
it's very important.
That's the pace you've been seeing with some of the new tools that have been deployed, like some of your biggest pain point being fixed within weeks now.
100%. And I think that goes back to like when you're telling me, Alex, what would you do differently if you were building Deel today? There's so many things where like it's frustrating. It's very fun because it's like very live for me. Like, I'm living through those things at the moment. And if you look through some of those legacy build that we have, where like all of my team has spent so much effort going from 94% automation to 94.3 automation, and then, you know, you can, one of the things we've been doing, which is really fun, I'm taking a couple engineers from the organization that have nothing to do with that area of the product. I'm like, okay, let's rebuild this, but like, you don't have any knowledge. Let's just bring one operations person, let's go and fix that problem. And you just get like spikes of automation and spikes of results that, you know, literally we spent years trying to incrementally improve on, and like suddenly in 2 weeks you get everything fixed. It's like, that is how I would build Deel today, and this is how I could totally see how we could not do it, but because we are so hands-on as like I'd say as executive, we will be able to pivot through this.
Yeah. And which camp are you on? Like, are you the camp of like, oh, AI is going to destroy job, or actually AI makes, you know, my team not spend time on any low value type of task, and actually I get more of their brain and added value contribution to the company?
I actually wrote about it. I don't write that often, but I wrote about it a couple of days ago because I'm actually very strongly opinionated on the topic.
Okay.
So I actually think that AI is going to be a job accelerator. But for people that are able to do a lot with it, right? So if within your organization and within your job, your job is clicking through buttons or summarizing things or making processes happen, I don't think this is going to be able to scale, right? I think those roles are actually definitely going to be disrupted by AI. But yeah, if you look at a company like Deel, if I can do a lot more, I'm just going to do more. I'm going to bring more people. I'm going to hire more so we can do more. So I think actually the most successful companies are going to be able to go so horizontal because they're going to be able to hire so much more talent to go deep into different subjects, rather than having like hundreds and hundreds of people just working through clicking a few buttons here and there, right? And that's where I'm very bullish. I'm very bullish on like there's definitely people in the organization where if I could hire 500 of them today, I would hire 500 of them today. Right? Finding those people is harder.
Yeah.
But when it comes to that profile, I feel very, very strongly about this. And very similar to, for example, my sales organization. I can tell you that my sales organization is going to grow. And the more efficient they are, the better. But I still want it to grow because we want to grow as a business, right? So those are my expectations. So it's kind of tied between two, but I think it's going to be generally a boom on the role side when people are going to start figuring things out. But I do think there's going to need to be a significant upskilling and reskilling of people to be able to be part of that change of the workforce.
And how do you, a lot of people, and I think it was even mentioned today, is how do you train people? If many companies now are just cutting the junior, cutting the analyst, and then only have experienced people, and especially so when you're in a remote company. I sit in a company where we're back in the office 5 days a week, and we genuinely believe this is how you foster the collaboration.
Yeah.
How are you tackling the two? And I know it's two questions in
so
one.
there's a lot. There's a lot here. First of all, I actually think cutting the junior is the bad idea because I think juniors are actually going to be the more AI native, right? They're going to think AI first in many different ways. There's still a bit of a gap between think AI first when it comes to let me ask ChatGPT versus deeply understanding automation and workflows, and I think that's gonna change over the next few weeks or months. I haven't figured out yet upskilling, reskilling. What I've figured out is that within Deel as an organization, I think most organizations today, there are people that are significantly more curious than others, right? The people that go dive deep, try to understand things, and really try things, right? And those are the people that actually want to promote. These are the people I want to bring in the tent. These are the people I want to work with, and that's my area of focus today. It's less how do I bring the people that are not yet along for the ride, because to me, the most valuable asset I have today is the curiosity of the people that are looking right now. Because if you think about it, most of the workers, for example, at Deel today, on an even playing field, right? Everybody's getting access to the same tools. Okay. Who is the most curious person? Well, the person that's going to go and try and build and show and try and build. And those are the people that I think are going to be the most successful at those companies. And my job today is more analyzing and understanding who are those people and empowering them to be able to do their best work. Just on the remote topic, because I do think it's important, I actually think the opposite. The thing is, when you're in an office, a lot of the things you talk about is lost in translation. You actually are talking about different processes, different things, and that gets lost in the knowledge graph of your company. But when you're remote first, everything is usually async and written. And when you live in a place where you can actually build tools that are able to grab all of the knowledge that lives in your Slack, in your Gong calls, in your company, in your Salesforce, and kind of build that knowledge graph on top of this, I actually think remote companies have a significant competing advantage in making sure that you capture all of those conversations and no side conversation happen in a way that get lost in translation. So actually, although I love being in the same place as my teammates, I do think that there's a significant advantage in the AI world to be async/remote first in many different ways.
Yeah, and keep track of and trace of everything that is being
and
discussed
being able to
any
use that
workflow,
knowledge, right?
and you can actually reuse it.
Exactly. I mean, today most companies that are building AI automations live and die by workflows, right? And if the knowledge of those workflows is lost because it's you that turn around and told this person, hey, I'm going to edit this and this and this and just do it straight, then you lose the knowledge of doing that.
Yeah. That's a very fair point. I think this is a conversation I'd love to pursue.
I don't think the JP Morgan guys will agree with me, though. So.
That's okay. We can disagree. But I also want to switch gear a little bit because I want to move to client obsession, which I think is one of the skills a founder must have. But I know Deel by nature is really client obsessed. You are rumored to personally actually respond to your clients on WhatsApp, on every LinkedIn, anything to solve your client requests. How did this client first made or build the Deel DNA?
Yeah, so I think the rumors on this are true. But the thing is, okay, let's look at it differently. Similar to you guys actually, we are in the core of people's business, right? You trust us with your payroll, your HR, with your employees getting paid, making sure they can pay rent, right? So customer obsession is not just something that inherently we have as a company is just like, it's a must. You can't operate, like, imagine if you write to me, Alex, my payroll is not processing today, or this payment is late, and I'm like, yeah, like, you know.
You'll be paid in 2 days.
Exactly, right? Like, so like at the very core, I think, it's culturally aligned with who we are as people, but it's also very aligned with the mission that you give us as a customer in terms of what we want to achieve for you, right? So I think that's number one. Number two, I'm an engineer, I'm a product leader at heart, right? So like, being able to spend a lot of time with my customers helped me, because as we grow the organization, things can slip out, right? Like, things don't improve on certain areas. And if I'm not close to my customers, if I'm not close to my sales organization, then, you know, I can easily lose track of like what's important. And being very close to the product, actually, when you're a small company or when you're a big company, is what, in my opinion, enables you to actually be able to grow and become a larger company. Because if you lose track of that because you think you're too busy, because you think you need to be in meeting with investors and whatever, then your product is just not going to grow, and you're kind of doomed to fail. And again, not saying we made it, but I do think that a significant part of why we've been able to grow so horizontally in terms of product breadth and our customers is generally because we listen to them and we build with them, which is very critical. And I think the last part is generally, like, the way I look at it, and you know, the rumors are, which are true, is I have hundreds of customers on WhatsApp, and I have thousands of Slack channels with customers. It just helps shape everything you want, and it shapes your organization. Because if technically, if your CEO does this, everybody does this, right? And like, shaping the organization in a way that people top down truly care is something that I think as a founder is the most important part. And it's not just I want them to, like, the fact that this is the rumor at the company is for the company is good for me. That means that people think of it as like, oh, Alex is the most customer obsessed person, and then so should I be, right? And that is, I think, the biggest win for customers and for companies and for us.
Yeah, no, leading by example is always something worthwhile for your team. And staying on the customer aspect, and obviously today, lots of these companies are in their early days, maybe
soon customers.
Soon customers to Deel, and on their side, they might have maybe 5, 10 customers for some of them. How did you lock these like 5, 10 customers? Are they the hardest one to lock in when you started Deel? Or you would say actually the shift is harder when you reach a certain size to win the extra one?
I actually think those are the easiest customers to lock in, because those are the customers that get to interact with you as a founder very early on, right? Like, eventually you bring on salespeople and go-to-market organization, marketing and stuff like that. I think the superpower of a founder, it's a funny thing, but it's people are willing to help. Not everyone, but a lot of people are willing to help. They're willing to listen. They're willing to give it a try. And that's something usually only founders really get. So the ability and the chance of being able to show up and pitch and talking to people that are willing to pay it forward, and there's so many people in this room, and you know, generally they're willing to pay it forward, is a very unique thing. So I actually think the first few customers are the most critical, because they become your word of mouth. They become the people that talk to you for other customers, your references. They help you shape the product, and they're usually easier to get to. Now, it doesn't mean they're gonna, you know, if you don't take care of them really well, they'll leave, and that would be pretty bad. But I do think, especially at this stage, like, people are keen to help, and that's a very unique superpower you get as a founder, where very early on people want to help you. When you get to like Series B, Series C, people care a little less. When you get bigger, people care because they want to help, they want to know you. But that specific early stage moment is actually very valuable, and like one of the part I miss the most.
Yeah, no, that's a really important one to keep in mind. I see only 6 minutes left. I want to spend a bit more time on AI. I know you're quite passionate about it, and we touched on the subject from different aspects. The aspect of threat. Do you currently see AI and what is being built as a threat to your business? And do you feel we are already at a stage where we somewhat know how this is going to unfold? Like, or is it still a lot of moving pieces and it's hard to tell?
Yeah, you know, we're never really focused generally on threats. It's just not really how we operate. We see AI more as a way for us to improve as a company, get better. I think we have huge tailwinds in general, because generally Deel was built in many ways as an operational business and an engineering business. There's just a need for people in many different places, right? Like, you need infrastructure. If I'm going to employ people locally for you, I need experts in every single country, and sometimes you need to scale those teams really to some significant extent because of how many customers we get. And I think that's one of the things where we get huge tailwinds, which is with all of the different tools that are available right now, it's much easier to share knowledge. It's much easier to build AI agents that are going to be doing a lot of those workflows and help you scale, right? Like, I actually think we could quadruple revenue without increasing headcount right now, which is a big statement to make, but I actually generally think so. And that is why I'm so excited about it. That's one part. And the second part is what we do is very hard, right? Like, we had someone pitch legal notarization. I still need to notarize documents on a weekly basis because we have 200 plus entities around the world, right? So scaling the payroll, the legal, the HR infrastructure is very complicated. Integrating to local governments, just the structure of the business is very complex, right? And there's kind of two sides, right? Like the sides of like, hey, companies might try to come into the market, sure, but they still need to go through the same process from a go-to-market perspective as us, and it will take them time to be able to build all of the infrastructure we have. And the other side, which I love, is when people tell me, oh yeah, they can vibe code a lot of the HR things. Like, yeah, good luck vibe coding the integration to the Brazilian government for the payroll system, right? So. I would say, look, it's never say never. I think there's a lot of things you can be doing. Again, I think we're young enough as a company, right? We just turned 7, that a lot of the things we're building is actually now shaped by AI, and we're able to really ride that wave. It's not like we have 30 years of legacy, and it's really hard for us to kind of shift. And we've really been able to do this very well. So I'm more excited than scared, to be honest.
Okay. So it's an opportunity, not a threat.
It's definitely an opportunity.
Yeah. Interesting. We moved from 9 to 6. Switching again. Being a founder is also being opinionated, and I can tell you're opinionated on a few different topics.
For good or for worse,
for the right reason, Do you think that when it comes to AI, threat challenge, already touched on it, remote, what is one of the things you feel that you think differently, or a lot of the crowd would disagree with you on, but you truly believe in and you want to share with this audience today?
We are actually quite contrarian, I would say, as a company, right? Like when it comes, at least to modern, larger enterprise, they look at how we operate. And actually, Jean-Claude is in the panel, is in the jury right now, but he's the one of the few that looks, from the L'Oreal perspective, looks at what we do, and like he finds it funny because a lot of the things we do are very unconventional. And it starts all the way. We're one of the first startups that got profitable very early, right? Like it was very important for us to grow profitably, and it's something we emphasize a lot on. And most companies didn't really care about profitability, and then suddenly when the market cared about profitability, we were in a very good position. Most companies would tell you running a 7,000 people company remotely is madness. Well, it works for us. It's how we're built. It's who we are as people, and it really anchors in the DNA of the company. That's quite contrarian. And I mean, investors love to come and tell me like, how am I going to explain this if we were to go public to public investors that don't really understand that? And I'm like, it'll be an easy pitch, right? Like, because of how core it is to how we operate as a business and who we are. It's not something that changed. It's something that we were kind of born with as a company. So generally, I think Deel has always operated in a more contrarian way, which actually bothers people, which is kind of fun, because we're not really exactly like your Silicon Valley like archetype companies that you can kind of picture and understand end to end. We're kind of like hard to understand, but I also think this is what kind of makes this a beauty, right? And this kind of makes us unique, and we want to keep operating that way. So most of the things that you look at and go like, that's kind of odd, like how they're operating, is the things that we're very proud of.
Which is good. Stay true to yourself. And actually, usually it's easier to pitch something you truly believe in. So,
look, I believe in a world where you don't make people do things you don't want to do yourself. When I was young, I used to take the tube back and forth to go to school in Paris for 45 plus minutes. I don't want to do that. And I don't want my team to have the same things. I'd rather they roll out of bed and work. Now, if rolling out of bed is not what they want, it's fine. We give them WeWork memberships and things like that. But I think the very core is staying true to yourself is important, but also like create an environment where people thrive. And not everybody will thrive, but the ones that do, hopefully will last for a very long time. And we actually see it quite often where we have this concept, I think most companies do, but of boomerangs at Deel, which is people that try to come back pretty often. And we can see that we have a significant amount of that because, I mean, in today's world, it's hard to find a company that operates at our speed, but also with the setups that we have. And I think a lot of people realize it, enough people don't, but eventually do and try to come back, which is really great.
Yeah, no, that's a great testimony to the company, that's for sure. Maybe spending the last 5 minutes on fundraising, because today it's about the pitch. And obviously, I'm sure that many in the audience would want to hear, some of your advice as to when you
I don't like
go
fundraising.
Okay. How
I'm
so?
sure most people in the room, if you've ever fundraised, you'd say it's not a fun thing to do. Well, I think the way people think about fundraising is wrong. And one thing I did very early on that really changed my mindset and the way I operate and went from I dislike fundraising into, I can do this and it will work, was how I thought about our equity. And most VCs, I think there may be a few in the room, will not like me for this, but like the way I think about equity in Deel, for example, and I think every founder should think about their equity is, it's a bit different when you're very early and you need the first money to kind of get going and hire your first engineers and start building and run really fast. And I actually think Michael Siebel from Y Combinator at YC Demo Day had told me, look, if someone is willing to give you some money to go and build your dream idea, just take it and don't overthink it. But I think as you grow as a business, the way you think about equity and fundraising has to change if you want to be successful. And so one of the things we did at Deel very early, as I told you, is we're very efficient in how we burn capital. We actually almost at break even very early on. And the reason for that was partly because I didn't want to go fundraise because I don't like it. But second, because my mindset shifted into, well, investing into Deel for me is not anymore, oh, if I get this money, I will get to that after X amount of months, which is how a lot of people think. For me, it meant more, what am I willing to sell part of my baby for? And how will that money help me get to what I want to get to? And if you start shifting your mindset into, again, not the early stage where it's just like, let me get a little bit of money so I can run, but more after that into, okay, I'm selling a piece of my company.
Yeah.
Who am I selling it to? Do I want to be working with those people for a very long time? What are they going to bring to us as a business? Why should I be doing that? Then you just shift your game completely differently, right? Because one, you're operating in a different way. You're not operating in a way that you're like, well, if I don't get that money, I'm not able to continue, because you set up yourself for more optimization, how you spend your money, how you grow and things like that. But second, you're just much more in control of your destiny and you get to pick who you work with. And today when I look at the people that I work with, I'm very proud to have them with me. I'm very proud to work with them. And that's something that, if I was in a distressed place or if I thought about this differently, I may not have picked them. And you get to pick your investors for very different reasons. When we fundraised our last round, the $17 billion round, we could have raised at a higher valuation. But I wanted to work with those guys, right? I thought they were amazing. I wanted to work with them, so I was willing. So even my board was aligned with me making the decision I wanted because we kind of stayed true to this idea.
Yeah. And actually, that was one of the questions I wanted to ask you about, like how you think, and I guess it's more as you grow, as you scale. But how did you think about your board and the type of people you wanted on it, from like product people, corporate people? Like, how do you think this through, and maybe how this has changed as you were growing, as your needs were evolving in terms of what your board needed to bring to the table?
Yeah, actually, funnily enough, I saw a video from the current CEO of Opendoor, Kaz, yesterday about this. There's kind of like two boards, right? And that's what he was explaining, which I really love. It's at the beginning, actually, it depends how you think about those things. There's like a type of board which are just like, yes, man, right? Like, sure, go and do your thing type of thing. And then there's ones that are a bit more conflict-oriented, try to go deeper, try to understand deeper. With me, I think I've evolved from get out of my way, let me work, towards, okay, now that we're building something much bigger, the more expertise I can get on the board, the more I can learn from those people, the better. And I think, it's a transition as a founder. I think if you get really smart VCs, they understand that very early on, they should kind of let you live your life and leave you alone and figure things out. And that's why I love getting operators as investors, right? Like, because they know what you're going through, they know what you're living through, and they're able to give you the right advice, but without really trying to tell you what to do, right? Because it's a journey, you need to figure this out. And when you invest in an entrepreneur, you need to let them grow with the company and you need to let them execute. And sometimes they'll make mistakes, and that's okay, that's part of the journey. As you grow the business, you need to limit the amount of mistakes you're making, big time, right? And this is when you want to bring people that have already operated at scale and that are a bit more conflict-oriented when it comes to like, am I doing the right thing? So that's how I think things change.
Okay, No, that's a very, very interesting
I think what
perspective.
Cass said, which I thought was very interesting, is like, I haven't thought about it that way, but I do think it's very cool. It's like, when you grow to the scale where we are, the way he thinks about this is like, who would I pay dinner? Who would I pay to have dinner with? And like, that's a very interesting way of thinking about it. But honestly, when you're an early stage company, like some of the companies we talk to here right now,
just take as much.
Just take the money and go and build. And then we'll talk when you get some good traction and product market fit.
Yeah. No, I heard this idea about like, who would you have dinner with, because you truly live with them
Pay
as
them
well.
to have dinner. It's a whole new
pay
level.
them.
How would you pay to have dinner
it's one
with?
step forward.
It's a step forward. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Alex. We're already at time. I hope we can end up the conversation later on at the cocktail. But I want to bring the jury back and finally know who the big winners are. But I truly want to thank you for your openness and responding to all the questions with care.
Of course. Well, thank you everyone for being here. And well, I didn't get to. I'm a judge, but I didn't get to pick. But I'm sure my friends picked the right people.
I hope so. They take the money anyway. Je fais du coup. So the jury actually needs a few more minutes because it's been great pitches from all the companies. So let's give them an additional maybe 1 or 2 to 5 minutes. And please stay with us for the prizes and the winners.
Vous avez le retour? Bien, le moment est arrivé pour nos 10 gagnants qui nous ont fait bien des soucis, nos amis startups. They made us a lot of problems, you know. We were supposed to have 10 winners with 10 checks. But you've been so good, guys. We couldn't make it. So we needed to add some. And so the check will be postponed for a few of you guys. There will be 14 winners. So 4 will receive a check, but later on, right? We're very sorry for that. This is treasury management. So the winner, number one, all the judges really decided that they need to win, and the name is
Clio Labs.
Alors merci beaucoup. Sorry. Thank you very much. So so when you raise our seed, so we used to tell you that like every investor used to tell us, okay, so like you are doing like Deel, but for compliance. And when we apply for Deel and for this pitch competition, and when you knew we are going to pitch, so it was really a question. So we're going to say we are like Deel because it's a little bit like shy because Deel is like huge and we are like nothing compared to Deel. And so today we are super happy. So thank you very much. And for us, like to have like a Deel as an investor is the same thing that is really important for us. So thank you very much.
Bravo. Allez.
Congratulations, Clio Labs team. The second prize that was also pretty unanimous among the juries goes to
Lemrock. Congratulations, founders. Wow.
Thank you very much. What to say? Thank you. We are super happy to be here. Super happy to have Deel among us. So thank you very much. And if you want to discuss about agent e-commerce, very happy to do so. Thank you.
Bravo. So. The third one is
Allude.
Woo!
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. There's a lot of good news today happening. We also just signed our lead investors and are closing our seed round, 3 million. So super happy to announce it to everyone and super happy to count you in.
Congratulations. The next prize goes to...
Oh no, not this one. Kidding. I'll pick. You were my first choice.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the title. Thank you for the prize. Yeah, super happy. There were like a lot of good startups today, so the choice would have been super complicated. And yeah, look forward. Keep working with you guys. Super happy.
And the next one is
Pearl.
Woo! Bravo.
Thank you so much. We looked at all the pitches. It was amazing. So super happy to win this prize. We're a client of Deel. We have people at Deel on the cap table as well. We love Deel. So super happy to be here and keep the motion going.
And even more for you, Alex. Actually, funny because we were here a year ago with Harry, and Harry actually we met 20 VC, and those guys invested. At the time, we actually met you as well at the same time. And a year ago now, we are here with a full team and full product, so super happy. Thank you.
The next company to win the Pitch by Deel prize is
PAC.
Real pleasure to be here, to celebrate together and to win this competition. Amazing job, your team.
amazing opportunity, one of the best startup events I attended. I'm really proud to be part of the Deel family.
And the next winner is
Everreach.
Thanks a lot. I'm super surprised, but the narrative is fun because when we started to overhire for the gaming studio years ago, we started to use Deel. So here we go. Thanks a lot for the competition. And yeah, glad to be part of the family with you guys.
So the next one is a special one because it was a debated company which was very dear to the heart of Philippe on the left. So he'll be very happy to announce that the next winner is
Flyrank.
Well, first of all, thank you for really hosting this amazing event, giving us a chance to do this. This is for our team in Sarajevo, Bosnia. I'm not an ambassador of Bosnia, but I do urge you guys to come visit in Sarajevo and Bosnia. And even if you give me a call, I will host you as a family member. It is a beautiful country, so much talented people, and come visit. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Woo!
And our next winner is
Evolve.
I would like to say that when we've prepared my pitch and my team helped me, they said that it's great, but I said that it's not great enough because in Paris there will be best of the best. And I'm really happy to win, and I'm really happy to be a part of Deel team. And we also use your solution. So for us, it's a really big pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So the next one is another very special one because it was another debated company. And in our experience as investors, debated company can become the biggest outliers. The next one was special to the heart of Charles Gorentin.
Yes.
And it is
Présage.
Thanks a lot to the Deel team. Thanks also to Charles. I email this guy a lot to to make it happen. So yeah, maybe on LinkedIn I was like, why you're not trying our solutions and stuff like this. So yeah, very glad to have Deel around us. We are raising our seed round right now and moving to the US very soon. So I think we will be using the visa stuff. So yeah, so very happy to be here. Thanks.
Congratulations.
So, the next one. Very useful, I'm telling you.
Legitify.
Thank you very much, and thank you for organizing this great event. When we launched Legitify, this was when we were back in beta stage around 2022. We had quite a few users from the early legal and compliance team at Deel use Legitify, and I think there was one time they did a couple thousands of dollars at once. And we were very excited. So when we raised our seed round, the narrative was Deel is also one of our users. So it's kind of full circle to be back here and to have Deel Ventures on board. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Check and we will make it done.
Oh no, I'll give everyone a check.
Okay.
We are now almost at the end. Only 3 companies left. The next winner is
CD Up.
Thanks everyone. To be honest, I'm quite surprised. I was expecting from you a better performance, but thanks a lot for giving us this this beautiful prize. Thanks to the jury, and looking forward to connect with Deel and everyone later tonight. Thank you.
Bravo.
So. We're almost at the end, only 2 left. So the next winner is
Sai 10. Sai Ren, sorry.
Merci à tous. Merci à Richard et Alice qui ont rendu ça possible pour nous, sans lesquels on n'aurait pas pu candidater. Et surtout, j'en profite pour dire merci à mon équipe. On a rarement l'occasion de féliciter son équipe, mais je ne ferai rien sans eux. Ici, il y a notre député CEO Eli Shai, mais je pense aussi à mes associés et toute mon équipe. Et merci parce que c'est grâce à vous qu'on en est là. Merci pour votre confiance. À bientôt.
Bravo.
And we are now at the very end of this event. all the winners were very impressive in many ways, but this one was once again a little special because it was again a non-consensual decision, but that was really, really driven by Philippe on my left, who I'm sure will be very proud to announce that the last Deel winner of the day is...
The last but not the least. So the very last... It's not easy to read.
I know. I'll give it to you.
Oh yes, Lead Bay.
Many thanks, Philippe and all the team for hosting this event. Deel was one of the good story we heard at YC and is so inspiring for companies like us. So thank you for hosting and congrats to all the winners.
Bravo. So I'm now going to call the person that almost did everything. We are all here because of her, and it's Alice.
Woo! Congratulations, Alice.
Thank you everyone for coming. I hope you had the best day. I hope the judges had the best time. See you next year. See you in Dubai actually. Papa dit see you in Dubai.
So I will call now all the winners and the judges. Please come up. And our CEO, Alex. For sure. And for all of you guys, see you in Dubai.
Je pensais que c'était Berlin d'abord. Vous avez fait une belle craque. Il ne faut pas trembler comme ça. Il a flippé, tiens, mets ta casquette. Moi, je vais mettre ma casquette. Je suis pas honte de ma casquette. Trembler le pauvre. Ah, mais je sais, il était sympa ces casquettes. Là. Non, bien sûr. On va t'enfiler. Il a flippé. Je peux dire qu'il a flippé fort.
Much.
Je vais juste dire une phrase pour leur dire d'aller vers le cocktail. Je peux avoir le...
Plus mon micro, moi.
non plus.
Ah si, il marche.
Ça marche?
Tiens.
I think it's working now. Ouais.
Thank you, everyone, once again. There will be drinks upstairs. Please join the winners, all the companies that pitch, and all of us for a well-deserved drink. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Un big hug. Ouais, bravo Alice, franchement. Bravo à toi. Allô, t'as bien